community has chosen. Just barely beating out Amulet Titan, we've got ourselves Blue Black Mill. And this is an 8 crab one, sporting Lurrus of the Dream Den and multiple crabs. One thing that we noted while we pulled this list up, it was a recent 5-0, and this one versus the other one is all in on the mill. We have Glimpse the Unthinkable is back, Maddening Cacophony is here. We've got the Archive Traps, very little interaction with Blood Chief's Thirst and a few Fatal Pushes. The other version had a lot more. So, let's hope that won't be necessary. Pretty much just gonna mill them. Got some Crypt Incursions here, got some bridges. Let's go. It's mill. You know what we're doing. 60 cards to 0. Let's see how often we can make that happen. Let's begin. Wonder Woman 84 was painful to watch. Well, we've heard mixed reviews. We'll see. We'll see. Alright, Knees Able is our opponent. Let's play first, declaring that Lurrus. We have a Crab, Black Mana, Field of the Ruin, Crab, 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 and no blue mana. I would love to keep this, you know? I would love to just get a bunch of crabs into play here. But without the blue mana, that's going to be really hard. Guess we have to mulligan this. Alright, well. We're good now. We're good now. I guess we'll get rid of Underground River here. Because it's painful, I suppose. Play a crab and get things going. Let's go. I definitely want to play a crab here because I'd love to do Glimpse the Unthinkable next. Snow-covered forest for our opponent. Hardened Scales. Good luck. Land. Crab Mill. I suppose Mesmeric Orb, but my opponent doesn't mill that much. But let's go ahead and do this in case I hit a surgical by myself and I can mission briefing the surgical. Go ahead, opponent. Orb. Orb, orb, orb. Mill. Alright, we've hit a few things. Hardened Scales, Scrapyard, Arcbound, and the Ozolith. Opponent plays an Ink Moth here and puts a hanger back on 2. Thanks, Hardened Scales. We milled 2 ourselves with our Mesmeric Orb, hitting the surgical and the crab, and we have the Drown in the lock. Wow. Okay. So, I could just nail the Arcbound Ravager right now with the mission briefing off the surgical. I can leave myself a Drown in the lock open to counter something too. Wow. I could kill this. Let's go ahead and mission briefing the surgical here. Surgical, the Arcbound Ravager. Archive Trap probably isn't hitting, so we'll go ahead and put that into Graveyard. Blood Chief's Thirst, though, is not bad. We'll put that on top. And then we'll nail Surgical, using Surgical on Arcbound Ravager and see what else is going on. And I don't want to wait, because who knows, main deck Veil would be brutal. No, Varus Address. No. It would be awful. There's a Walking Ballista. Alright, a little quick screenshot of their hand, because it doesn't write it down for us. We have Ink Moths to deal with here. We have Ozoliths, Thrones, all of that good stuff. So really we just have this Ink Moth we've got to worry about. Take the one in the yard, or do they have no way to get this back? What does this Fury do? It's red-green, yeah. Fury is as additional cost this sack creature equal to creature's power to any target. And they have one of these. This is dangerous. Am I gonna lose to this? It's this Kazul's Fury and basically bolts. Yeah, so basically a fling. But they're using it as the land version so that they can use it as a land. We have an Ancient Strains here too. All right, they have no way to really get this back, so I'm gonna just leave it there for future. Watergrave, tapped, because I don't want to take damage. Mill 3 and go ahead, opponent. Hitting an Ozolith on a Walking Ballista. All right, double mill for my opponent. 2 lands. Remember when it was Affinity with Scales? The good old days. Poor Opal. All right, we played a Timber Crown pathway, which they did not have. We're gonna lose that Blood Chief, so I didn't really think about that. Well, I guess it's not the worst. 2 mana Walking Ballista here. It's actually a 2/2. And pumps Hangerback Walker. Remember, they've got a Fury that we have to deal with at some point. Mill 3, Blood Chief, Glimpse, Mesmeric Orb. Ooh, we hit a Fatal Push. That's pretty good. So I think we just go ahead and Fatal Push the Walking Ballista. Judge Kazul's Fury. Is it an instant or sorcery? It's an instant. Oh my gosh. So should I just kill this stuff now? Shoot this, go to whatever I do, and then this. I don't let them untap with it and they get 4 1/1s here. We have Fury and Ancient Strains in their hand. If they attack with a lot, they're gonna mill a lot. Ballistic can't exactly kill out of nowhere. We've already taken an Arcbound Ravager. I guess I really don't want this to stay around here. I'd like for them to untap, but they could always just fling in response, and I don't like that. I think I have to kill it right here. It's 1 less mill, but it's a lot less probably damage. Like, if they get to untap, they get to, like, shoot me for 4 or even 6, and then they get 6 1/1s. Let's do it this way. Alright, 38 cards to go. We can always top deck a Crypt Incursion. Hangerback. Reborn and Animation Module. Yeah, I think Kill All is the line, especially since I have an Orb here. Ancient Stirrings. We have a Forest, Fury, and an Unknown card currently. What you gonna get? What you gonna get? What you gonna get? Another Ink Moth. All right. So we're gonna have 2 Ink Moths. Boots up this Ink Moth. Plays an Ozolith. Attacks for some damage. Does it all. Mills more. Excellent. All right, fetch land. All right, we have a Maddening and we have a Glimpse. So I guess I Glimpse here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more. We just Glimpse here and then we Maddening them. Go ahead, opponent. And this mill plus their attack mill plus Maddening should be enough. As long as they didn't miss anything. Remember, they can throw 1 more damage up at me because of the Fury. This card. No, we forgot to restart the client so that the images would come back. Oh well. Most of them are here. 14 cards to go and we have a mill of 8, so we need 6 more. Fetch land kills them. Them tapping 6 things kills them. They play that snow-covered forest. We have Fury, 2 unknowns. Booting up 2 Ink Moths and attacking his mill 4. Looking pretty strong. Goes to combat. Attacks with just the Thopters here. Smart move, I think. It's a mill for 4. We have him down to 2. We hit the Polluted Delta. Maddening cast here, plus Polluted Delta is lethal. Got him. Got him. Nice. Good game 1. Good game 1. All right, Crypt Incursions. Non-artifact creature. Bloodchief's Thirst is probably okay here. Probably wouldn't mind Bridge. We'll see about that, though. I have to see, because really just repeating Lurrus with the crabs isn't too bad, because crabs can be just blockers. It's if they were to get a flyer. If they get a flyer, we're in a bit of trouble. Because they're playing Fury and Bolts as well, it doesn't really mean that Bridge is really going to get us there. They don't search, so Archive Trap for definitely some removal can, and the Crypt Incursion can definitely come in. I don't know, I could just take an Extirpate here and just have one more way to get rid of something instead of the Archive Trap, and then I can continue to use Lurrus. Or I try to put both Bridges in here and just forgo something else. Kind of like the Extirpate, because it can be like a mill for 3, which isn't bad, and it can take some very important cards. I play enough Pyro Prison that the Bridge doesn't really work for the mill matchup. Opponents just, or for the, no, we are the mill. For the Hardened Scales matchup, they can just play around it. Let's do this. Not bad looking. I was on a mull to 6 as well. Yeah, we were on the play. It's like, were we? We were. We were on the play, getting the stuff done. All right. Lurrus declared here. I definitely like this hand. We got that Surgical again, we got the Glimpse. I don't get to do the crab unless we top deck a land here, which wouldn't be bad. Got a Visions the refuel as well. Looks alright. I'm pretty happy with this. Give me a Watergrave, Darkslick, or Island, please. Opponent mulligans to 6 here and plays a Hardened Scales off the top here. Well, we hit a Crypt Incursion, definitely a fine thing to hit. We'll do a fetch. We really don't need another swamp here. We don't have any doubles, so I'm gonna go Island just to save a little bit of life total. It could matter. It could matter. Let's get ready to gain some life. So I think ideally it's gonna be Mesmeric Orb into Glimpse into hopefully Crypt Incursion or Visions stealing something that's important. Bolts Crab. Goodbye, Crab. That's fine. And an Arcbound Worker. Okay. Orb. We're going to stop on my opponent's draw step and hope for no Veil. And hopefully maybe hit something interesting with the Surgicals. Yield, yield. Phyrexian Core, Grove. Nothing interesting. We'll pass to them. Reborn, Ozolith here. Got a 2/2, and we have another worker here. They'll put counters over here. All right. Mill 2 for us. We had a Visions. All right, so we're either taking 6 here, or I'm killing one of these, and it's just making the creatures bigger. In the spirit of not dying too fast here, let's Glimpse, hoping to hit a lot of creatures, and then perhaps we can Surgical something, or we can Crypt Incursion. We'll wait for their draw step here. Well, Let's not wait for their draw step. Let's wait for their upkeep. So they mill a few more things. And then see if there's anything of interest here. Alright, so we've milled Hangerback, Walking, Hangerback, Walking, Arcbound Ravager, and Walking. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 Walking Ballistas. I do see an Arcbound Ravager here that I kind of want to take care of. I think we go ahead and take that. I'm very hesitant to do it on draw step because of Veil. I think I'm just going to take it now here, and then while we take it, take a peek at if they have a Veil. All right, they don't. So we have these 2 creatures to beat. We have 33 cards to go. Not going to take this one out of the yard because it helps Crypt Incursion. We have Blood Moon. Okay. We have some bolts. We have Boil. All right. 1 Hangerback. All right. We got some nasty things over there, but not too many nasty things. A little Hangerback Walker. All right. Nice. Tax for 6. Puts us to 9. All right. Kind of need a land here. We hit a land. All right. Opponent's going to mill out some here. I think I'm going to stop on their upkeep still so that we don't get that. I don't know. Maybe we don't need to worry about it. It doesn't. Surgical doesn't target them. Hold on. You're right. All right, we'll let them draw here. Let's see how greedy I can get here. There's a Hardened Scales. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can kill an Arcbound Worker here. Oh, they don't even attack with everything. They're gonna pump Hangerback Walker here. So I could kill the 4/2. I could also just Visions here. What if I Visions? Math rules, what's up? I think I want to Visions. Field and Visions? No, that's one more thing that mills. Too bad opponent wasn't on rats. I mean, I guess I could field, and if I do field, it's 1 less mill, but it gives me an extra blue, which may be important, actually. Extra blue might be actually important. And I guess I can go after one of these. Let's go after the red source here. I'll use this to pump, that's fine. We know we're going to try to gain a whole bunch of life here. The extra blue is where your head was at too. Nice. And they did have the mountain. Like, we can super wait on Crypt Incursion now. Oh, I didn't use Visions. I'm a dum-dum. I'm a dum-dum. It's okay. Oh, it's not okay. It's not okay, Fluffy. All right, on their upkeep, at the end of their upkeep, we'll do Crypt Incursion to gain a whole bunch of life here. I don't know if it's enough. We'll have to just see. Mill a few more, mill a few more. I didn't really mill a few more. Crypt Incursion. We have to do this on upkeep here because my opponent can draw this Fury card. All right, we're back up to 36. All right, that makes us beefy. And they have 21 cards. We have the Scrappy. 21 cards, and I have a Maddening. I have a Crab as well. There are a million. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 15 cards. It's a Surgical. I don't recall anything that would shuffle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 5 if I go ahead and use field. Field is 6, so 5, 6, it's 11. Puts them to 10. This mill's 8. And then I'd have to hit something that's multiples. All right, we learned from our last time that I can actually kill them if I pay attention to what they have, and I can surgical away something they might have multiples of. We have an Ozolith here, an Ozolith here. 4, 9, 4, 8, 8, 9, 10, 15. I suppose I don't need to go too crazy here. What is there? There is only one Ink Moth, so I can kill here, I think. And I believe they had 4. We can check, so let's go ahead and... Do I need this extra? Do I need this extra source here? Blue, field, I do, because I'm gonna field them as well. So surgical, they're Ink Moth, wherever that is. There we go. We steal all the Ink Moths. Okay. Crab. We have another island, right? Before I go fetching. We do. We should. Oh gosh, what if this list doesn't have that many islands? Let's check to make sure our list has 3 like I expect it to. It does. Okay. Then we'll nail land, which is less technically, but we get another crab activation here. There's the last island. Mill again. Because we did the Ink Moth before, we were sure to hit it instead of trying to judge it at the end. Maddening here. Mill them for 8, and then we have 3 mill here when they untap. And there you go. Ink Moth. The target needed. Opponent finishes off here. Mills a few cards and loses the game. Mill takes match 1 down. And we learned something from our last time we were out and about. From the YouTube comments, people letting us know this is how you're supposed to play Mill. That was good. That was good. Tight level plays here. We knew we had to go looking at the cards before, because what we did the last time we played this out is we milled them a whole bunch, and then they had 3 cards left, and they were going to mill 2 on the untap or something like that. And so it was one of these, oh, now I have to guess what's the last 3 cards. And we ended up not guessing right. So if you're going to go crazy like that, do your surgical first so that you get the max cards out and carry on way to victory. All right. 1 land here, double draw before I see another card. Perhaps a land. Ooh. Should we keep this 1 lander? It's a pretty good 1 lander here. Little removal, crab, drown. No 1 landers. If you play online, take a screenshot if you surgical them. I take a screenshot of their hand only. You would not have time to write down the list. I don't believe in doing that because you don't become a better Magic player in paper. Don't handicap yourself like that. I'm gonna keep this 1 lander. Grab. Rules are rules. It's not prison. Rules can be broken. But yeah, I don't take a screenshot of the list. I look through it like I would normally, but I do not take a picture of the screen of the deck because you would not be allowed to do that. I don't play paper, so the rule wouldn't apply to me. Stoneforge here, picking up probably Batterskull. Will we find that land? If we do, drawing the lock kills this. Ho-ho! That's not a land. All right. Let's go ahead and Fatal Push Stoneforge, and I'm actually going to go ahead and Surgical Stoneforge, because future Stoneforges are going to be a problem. And I know, on the draw step, Fluffy, on the draw step. It's fine. All right, perfect example here. We'll screenshot hand. And then, because honestly, I think you should be able to keep track, we glance here. We have Kaya's Guile, which is interesting, can do stuff with visions. We have Seasoned Pyromancers we need to be a little bit worried about. We do have a Kroxan, and there is a random Ashiok here. Otherwise, everything else I can deal with. Go ahead, opponent. We have a Triome, a Seagate Wreckage, and some swords. But I think you can glance really quickly. It's actually just... I think it's fine. Plays a Seasoned Pyromancer here, ditching Sword of Feast and Famine, and a Batterskull. We have a Triome and Seasoned Pyromancer. Let's play Crab past turn. Don't worry, as soon as we get this fetch land, they're gonna just die. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Look at these beautiful arts. There we go. We fixed that one. Fix. It's almost there. It's almost there. It's fixed. Seasoned Pyromancer number 2 here. There is a Triome that we're aware of in their hand, and that is the only card we know about in their hand. They may keep it because they can cycle it. Ashiok and Kroxa hit the bin. Lots of little creatures here. We can block lots of these too. Block, block. Land. Let's go. Let's go. Land. Oh, Triome. Oh, Crab. All right. We'll play Rune Crab. Go ahead, opponent. I'm telling you, we get a fetch land. It's done. They're done for. They're gonna mill themselves with the Pyros. Exactly. They play that Triome, so we have no idea what they're playing anymore. Man, we get a fetch land? I might just orb them. Oh, that's right. This is... Oh, no. There went our entire board. I feel like conceding now. Here. Let's give them some fun things here. You ready? Let's let them mill for a bajillion. They kill me, but they get to mill a bunch. You know, that information. I had to block, probably. Probably not wrong. Granted, with the orb there and a fetch land that I top decked, it would have been 9, 18, plus that mill then. And now I would block here. Taking 2, 4, 6, 8. It would have been within 2. They would be at 11 cards. Top of the library just being a land. Anyway. Aether Gust here. Seems good. This is maybe bridge. Crypt Incursion, Go for the Throat, Blood Chiefs all seem pretty good. Nidio was right. I was supposed to mulligan? What? What? Can I just bring these in? That's it? Alright, my opponent does fetch, so Archive Trap is definitely interesting here. Maybe the Fatal Push to Blood Chiefs and Go for the Throats aren't very good here. It was. I set a rule, and I've broken it like twice already. We just can't help ourselves. We see so many crabs, and it's just like, yeah. We do it so you don't have to. I wonder if I should bring Soul Guide Lanterns in. My opponent has Kroxas and Seasoned Pyromancers. I don't think I care about those. New Shaft Stream is nice. We're trying. We're not trying to replace anybody. Just trying to supplement. Let's see here. Mission Briefing feels awkward. There weren't that many creatures. Let's go 1 Crypt Incursion out. one surgical out. Let's not go Blood Chiefs here. I don't know if I want the Soul Guides or not. I might want them. I have these, like, Drown the Locks, though. I need to cut just 2 more here. I actually kind of feel like I'm just supposed to cut, like, more do this. Don't ask me why. It just feels correct. I think it feels correct because they have a lot of tokens. I need more just power mill. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep a 2-lander this time. Hey look, 2-lander. Keep. 2-lander with a good land. Look at this. This is gas. Hedron Crab, Surgical Extraction, Palace in the Clouds, Blood Chief's Thirst. We're good. Just gotta dodge Blood Moon. Just gotta dodge Blood Moon now. Let's go ahead and glimpse them. There is no Blood Moon yet, but there is a Triome there. It's kind of cute. A couple Stone Forges, 1 sword, a couple Lilianas. Wonder if there's anything I want to take here. I could take the Seasoned Pyromancer. Taking the Seasoned Pyromancer might be fun. Let's do that. Nom. Nom. No, we didn't get any. That's a shame. Alright. We do have Batterskull in hand currently. Angrass, Channel Lightning Bolt. There's Rabblemaster. Kroxa here as well. A couple Stone Forges. Inquisition, Magnetic Channeler, and Thoughtseize. Alright, opponent. Nice hand. Remember, we've got Lurrus. Alright, Inquisition takes the Blood Chiefs currently. We're going to see a land, probably just a Blood Crypt, honestly, and Thoughtseize away as well is what I would do. Or this Marsh Flats. They know it's safe to fetch right now. Marsh Flats fetches. I'm telling you. Basic Swamp. Oh, by the way, we didn't see any Blood Moons. Gets a Triome. Ooh. Ooh, Triome. So we have a Thoughtseize still. I'm gonna put a land into play and just pass the turn this time. Let's get rid of this draw step. Here, this will help us remember we have Lurrus. Thoughtseize is Blood Chiefs, completely fine. Okay. Blood Crypt shocks in, and then a Channeler. There we go. You got it, opponent. I'm gonna take a random draw here in case it's just a land I can play untapped. It's not a bad one. I can't mill this off the top. But I don't really want to get hit for 4. I want the Lurrus to hand. Can I just take a 4 here and put Lurrus to hand? Then I'm just not playing both of these. Let's set in their draw step here so that I can interact with the Channeler. And then if they put it on top, at least I have a chance to draw something that could mill it off the top. Because Bolt and Batterskull aren't very frightening right now. This is. If they use this right now, which they can, they dig a little bit. I'm not too worried about this digging here. Like, they were gonna dig anyway, I just don't want them to redraw this. They get rid of a Marsh Flats. Finds a Silent Clearing and a Seagate. Alright, not the worst things here. Cool. And they end up putting this card on top. Okay, so we have a card on top here. Probably gonna go ahead and use this Polluted Delta. Opponent draws it immediately and puts down the Channeler. All right, good stuff. Get a Watery Grave here. We're This is not an island, so we can't get our Mystic Sanctuary to pick up the Blood Chiefs, unfortunately. Crypt Incursion's not bad. Just gonna put Lurrus to hand and pass turn. I'm gonna hold Flooded Strand to make Kedron Crab that much better. All right, no attack here. It's kind of interesting. There's a Drown the Lock. So I could put Lurrus down here. I don't end up getting the Hedron Crab necessarily. I think... I know it's Batterskull plus another card here. I'm going to hold Drown the Lock open instead in case it's a land that they get off the Channeler to play Batterskull. It's an Inquisition that I'm happy to go ahead and counter instead. I'm okay with this counter. Because it's Bolt, Batterskull, and an unknown card. Opponent attacks for 4. It's a Visions, huh? Alright. Going to fetch so I at least get my crab down here. I'm really paranoid about my opponent getting to kill this in response to fetching, or at least with me having this only here for a brief moment. I have the Palace in the clouds that I can bounce back and forth. If I can make them mill just a little bit more here, then Visions is online. Bolts Lurrus. Cool. Bolts Crab. Okay. Thought seizes away. Takes Crypt Incursion probably. They might take Visions though. They don't have that many creatures in the yard. They've got 2. I can see them taking Visions here. Visions is gone. Hits for 4. Well, this isn't playing out very nicely. Land. Go ahead, opponent. They have a Batterskull in their hand. It's a Bloodstained Mire. They're now at 20. Godless Shrine. Love to see something else in the yard for the Crypt Incursion. Granted, now that I've taken Seasoned Pyromancers, maybe it's just not going to happen. Run attacks for 4 here. Batterskull and an unknown card. I probably have to fire this off. I think I have to fire it off here and just gain 10 mana. Mystic Sanctuary. I currently have 2 islands. I don't have a third. So I don't get to put Visions or like Drown Lock or anything like that on top. Attacks for 4 puts me to 6. There's a lot of bad cards here. There's a Kroxa. That's a bad card. Oh no. I'm at 3. Rat Jam. But this isn't the rat list. So we have a Kroxa here that just kills me. I need a Visions off the top. I need a Visions that draws me into a way to get rid of Kroxa, and that gets rid of this card. Not him, though. Ruin Crab's not it. Alright. Opponent's got it. They just reanimate Kroxa here. I really don't see a reason they don't. If they don't, they're just attacking here. I do have a blocker, but I don't see us getting there. Crypt Incursion was 1 more deeper, but that wasn't going to get us enough here. Just gaining 3, 6, and this is 6 coming through. Mill 1-1, getting slapped there. And maybe my fault, breaking our rule about keeping 1-landers, but can you blame me? There were all kinds of crabs in that first list. Look at them jams. Alright, let's play first. Lurrus. Can you blame me? There were so many crabs. It was a good keep. It broke our #1 rule for this year. Our #1 rule, Nydia reminds us quite frequently, and it's a good rule to live by. Oh man, Camber's like totally jamming out. All right, we're gonna keep this. Pretty good. Pretty good, crabs. Let's put Lurrus back to where Lurrus belongs here. We're getting used to Lurrus being there. Start with a Watery Grave Hedron Crab, pass the turn. Would love to mill them and have 2 Drown the Locks, or Orb up. We'll see though. Might get bolted. Soulscar Mage. Ooh, alright. Fetch time. Time to mill. Get milled. Mill, mill, mill. Mill, mill, mill. Mill, 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 mill. Alright, we're just gonna pass the turn here. I'm gonna leave 2 Drown the Locks open. Saves our crabs since we have an extra land here. Can counter something. It's really good. Yeah, mission briefings in this one. Bobble. We'll allow Bobble to slide here. Opponent gets ready to attack us. 2-3. Hey, 10 months. Zinta, what's up? How goes it? We gotta light up the stage? New Soulscar. No follow-up? No follow-up. How's the 10 months going? Bobbles. Yeah, get those howl motes in there. Look at them howl motes. Maddening. Land. Mill, 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 mill. Oh, Kroxa. Kroxa. I think I'm going to pass the turn again. Look at the howls. Yeah. Lightning bolts the crab here. This is where I like want to protect the crab. Like that's 3 damage we prevented. Get prevented. All right, now we have 6 because we have no actions. Ooh, Agadeem's the Undercrypt. Bolts this in. Fatal pushes the crab, smacks me for 4, down to 10. We gotta find ourselves a way to win this game. Crypt Incursion? Right here? Crypt Incursion? There's not that many creatures down here. Oh no, there's a Scourge here too. Okay, okay. Land? Land, Drown, and Maddening? Ooh. I guess we don't do Maddening now. Instead, what I do is I play an Orb here. And then we'll plan to Drown the Lock the Scourge here when they attack. Yes, yes, yes. Triggers. It'd be funny if they had a Temur Battle Rage and tried to put it on here. Looks like we're gonna get Kroxa'd. That's gonna be okay. They do Shock in here to make Scourge even bigger. Well, we're pretty much dead, so kill that. Get rid of that. No Boros Charm. Boros Charm kills us. This makes for an interesting game here. What's interesting, if I hit a land here, I could mission briefing the Crypt Incursion if I hit it. What they should do, I think, is potentially play Kroxa in, getting rid of all the creatures in their yard. They don't have many, though. We'll see. We're down to 8. They might try to put Lurrus to hand. They may not do much more because of the Orb. This is a mill for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Puts them to 28. So the question is, do I Maddening or do I mission briefing? They left the Scourge in here. I suppose if I get rid of Maddening here, I can mission briefing the Drown in the Lock to re-kill Kroxa. Which then is turning mission briefing Drown in the Lock, save 9 damage, and then have my opponent mill an additional 4. I guess I'll do the maddening to the yard here. I don't take any damage. I like the idea of killing the Kroxa. There's an archive trap. If my opponent decides to fetch here, we're in good shape. Okay, we'll go to at least their beginning combat step. Hope they don't have like a surgical or something. No Apostle's Blessing, please. Temur Battle Rage, Angrath, Cling to Dust. Shoot. Mission briefing. Please ignore you have a Cling to Dust in the yard, please. Please. I can put that into my graveyard too. We'll target the Drown the Lock. Oh, they let it go. They let it go. We're so lucky. They're not fetching, but a Field of the Dead off the top might be pretty good too now. Got very lucky they didn't see the Cling there. Plays a K command to kill this and get rid of my last card. Dang it. By Archive Trap. That's pretty good. Hits for 4, down to 4. I need Crypt Incursion off the top. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's my only out now. Oh no. And a Death Shadow? Crypt Incursion? Crab. Well, Crab mills them for more. I suppose we'll do that. Down to 23, but now they just Kroxa me and then swing with team. This is close. This is close. There's not a lot of creatures though. I'm kind of wondering if Crypt Incursion shouldn't be a thing I worry about here. Kind of learning our lessons from earlier when the opponent doesn't have very many creatures. Probably just removals and bridges and stuff. Don't worry about the Lurrus package either. Okay. I love the attention to detail here. And I don't believe my opponent... They have a Bloodstain Mire. They really didn't fetch much. So we can maybe drop an Archive Trap or two. Let's look at this. So if we did 2 Archives, perhaps a Glimpse, because they could bring in Blood Moon. If we're looking at our own stuff, like Soul Guide Lanterns and Bridges maybe is just important. I mean, Fatal Push kills everything. I mean, like, Go for the Throat, I guess, kills Lurrus a little better than Blood Chiefs does. A little bit harder to cast. I don't know. Maybe I just, like, move Lurrus into the main with the Archive Trap out. My opponent really wasn't fetching, if I'm really honest. And maybe a Set Adrift instead. Kind of go this round. This doesn't look that bad. I suppose Aether Gust is here, and a lot of their cards were red. Take 1 Surgical, Aether Gust, Crypt Incursion, Aether Gust, and try this. I know I don't gain any life. I kind of want to try this. I don't know if it's correct, but sometimes you've just got to try something to see if it is correct or not. All right, let's keep this opening hand. I like this opening hand. They're like, oh, you didn't declare Lurrus. That's right, I didn't declare Lurrus. All right, Crab go. We're safe from Blood Moon here. See if they go ahead and pick off the Ruin Crab or if they go for my hand. I could see them going after Crab. Dismembering Crab. Just kidding. Reconsidering. Reconsidering Dismembering Crab. Crab's dismembered. Alright, we get to Maddening. We top deck a Surgical here. Let's see what we hit. Nothing too frightening yet. I kind of want to get the Kroxa with this. Shock's in here. Now they could Death Shadow. There was a Death Shadow here. Collective Brutalities. I guess I go after the Death Shadow here, but if I do that, then Scourge is now online. Huh. Kind of an awkward situation here. They didn't play a Death Shadow, which is kind of interesting. They're going after this to check the hand before playing Death Shadow. That's my guess. My gut tells me that. Let's take the Death Shadow. They're checking to be sure it's clear, because they don't care if it's a 1-1. Oh, they just don't have anything. That's one way to play it, too. Alright, we're taking the one out of the yard because I do know they were playing K-Command, and we see it right here. We have a Lightning Bolt and a Temur Battle Rage. Sounds good. Alright. I assume they'll take Set Adrift here, since we're not close to Visions. Oh, never mind. Alright, Mesmeric Orb. We'll do Flooded Strand. We'll go ahead and play... You know what? Let's hold in case I get a grab. I don't really have much at 4 that I care for. Alright, Mesmeric Orb goes over a Kroxa and a Soulscar Mage. We do have 2 more lands here, so we need to find a Soul Guide Lantern or a way to get rid of this Kroxa sooner than later. Shock's in the Blood Crypt here and has K-Command at their options. Bobble was drawn. Bobble. And bobbles. K-Command, kill orb, make me discard. It's pretty good. Probably have to discard the Set Drift because I do need a 3rd land. I see this line as just K-Command or make me discard. I have to pitch Set Adrift. Because now I have nothing milling, so the Set Adrift's not as interesting. Maybe I'll top deck my Lurrus. They have a Lightning Bolt, though. Crab? Alright, Darkslick Shores, pass the turn. Opponent's going to play Blood Crypt here and get Kroxa back. I'm going to have to pitch Flooded Strand, take 3, go to 15, and then we'll take 9 a turn. I do have Bridge. And we have used the K-Command, so we have 2 outs currently. We also have the ability to remove Kroxa with, say, like a Fatal Push or Blood Chiefs. Or the other card I brought in. Opponent's probably pretty far ahead, though, having this Kroxa out here. It was a good mill over... Granted, they can obviously just play it. Bobble here was drawn as well. Bolt, Temur, Battle Rage, unknown card. Need Bridge. Bridge. Oh, that gets pitched by Kroxa. So, lethal. Opponent has this Temur Battle Rage here. That's double strike, making 12. And then we had nothing that we could hold on to, so we're dead. We're dead. Let them dead us. Let them dead us. Go for it. Temur Battle Rage. Got us. All right. 1-2 currently with Mill. It's a bit of a rough one. Could we have played a few better? Probably. Apparently it's super swingy. We either win 2-0 or we lose 0-2 right now. Match 4 coming up. Let's see if we can bring this one back. Just kind of herd it back to the win column, please. So I don't know about my decisions there. Maybe Bridge is just incorrect to bring in because they have the K-Command. So, like, file that one away. What we did didn't work. I do feel like of the cards that do come down, I think Kroxa is actually fairly strong against Mill. Uro, maybe not so much, but definitely Kroxa. Croxa both times? Yes. Math FPS, thank you for the follow. Getting them FPSs in. 60 FPS, please. All right, let's make this 2-2. Come on, Mill. Come on. 1-2 versus 1-2. Jacket attack. Let's go. Declare that, Luris. Cape. Best of luck in the rest of the league. I'm headed out for the night. You have a good one. Take care. Be safe. No, it's frames per second. Frames per second, 60 FPS. You're silly. All right, let's get this crab down here immediately. So we have options. Fine. Snow-covered mountain was my opponent's choice here. I'm going to mill them some. And probably just leave a Drown the Loch open, honestly. They didn't tap. Oh, gosh. Frostwalk Bastion and Snow-covered mountains. All right, opponent. They're not fetching. It's Red Prison? Scred Red? Snow-covered mountain showing up here. Hey, look, the art's back. Nope. Counter. I want to keep my crab. Get out of here, Scred. Watch it be 2 Screds. No second Scred. Looks good. Ooh, crab. Number 2. Double mill. Yeah. And then Mesmeric Orb. Scary Abrade. Go, opponent. Let's find those fetch lands now. This looks good. Orb, mill 1. Mill 1. Lightning Bolt. Whew, dodged. Dodged. Frostwalk Bastion. That Ensnaring Bridge you have in your hand, opponent. Not good. Abrade's the Mesmeric Orb. This Abrade has no art. This one does, though. Extra crabs. We're going to play straight into this Anger of the Gods. There's that Blood Moon, by the way. Attack. This is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be attacking, threatening our opponent. This is how we get it done. 4 mana here, Chandra. Ooh, Pia Kiran Nalaar. All right, we're gonna wait. I would like to kill Pia Kiran Nalaar with a fetch land here. No fetch land. No fetch land. Let's vision. I'm gonna wait on the visions. I feel good about a fetch land as our next card. We'll fetch land them, then visions them to death. 5th land for my opponent. Please don't be Glorybringer. Boots up the Frostwalk Bastion. Smashing for some damage, it looks like. I could kill this now. 1 less land to deal with. That was aggressive. But it's important to be aggressive. Opponent's attacked here. We top deck. Crab. I meant crab first, then fetch land. By the way, what is Ruined Crab? I don't know what that card is, but I know what Hedron Crab is. Show me a fetch land, please. 5th land for our opponent again. This would be a mill for a lot, by the way. A lot. Crab. Emoji food and drink. It's a crab. Looks like they're gonna hit me for 4 again. That's fine. If I miss again, Luris is going to hand. Fetch land, come on, right here. Fetch land, fetch land, fetch. Mill 24, draw 3, exactly. Oh, it was close, but it works. Take the train. We're gonna go ahead and visions as well. Draw some cards, because I could hit a Mesmeric Orb. I hit a Surgical. Is there anything that I am scared of? No. Lightning Bolt, maybe. Let's just steal the lightning bolt. See what's going on there. I didn't have an extra blue for any of this, so why not? Let's see what their hand is so I can feel more comfortable, and maybe I have to block. This is important information. Chandra, Awakened Inferno, Seasoned Pyromancer. No. Oh no. Oh no. I didn't see that option. Oh, there's 4 lightning bolts over here. I'm a professional. I took the 4 bolts in the yard. A squeeze over here. All right. We're gonna attack with all the crabs here because I saw that they have Chandra. This is gonna be not so good. Throws a card at us. Land Chandra Awakened Inferno would be my guess. Maybe my attack has scared them. Crab Elementals. Down to 6 we go. Land Chandra Awakened Inferno. There you go. Down tick, blow the world up. Alright, everyone's dead. We know it's Seasoned Pyromancer, and I funny enough took all the bolts away. I suppose I'm supposed to go ahead and just Crypt Incursion here. I'm trying to think if there's a way that they could kill us. I didn't look. 3, 6. I'm only getting 6 life out of this. The attack costs 2 life. It's all good. I'm gonna go for Glimpsing and Maddening here. Leave him with 7, then a top deck land wins it. If not, I Crypt Incursion here. Crypt myself, because I have so many crabs. Nah, I'm just gonna go for them. Alright, they go up, they give me a gift. I can, in response to the gift, do Crypt Incursion. They have more creatures now. It's time to Crypt Incursion them. This is a good card. I doubt they can do 5 damage to me, but in response to this for this turn, I'll Crypt Incursion them. We should be good. Gain lots of life. Thankfully, no relics in play. Seasoned Pyromancer out of the yard. Makes sense. Go from 6 to 24. Take a damage. Play a crab. Sure. Go ahead, opponent. 6 cards left. Screds the crab. Ups with the Chandra, giving us another gift of the flame. Oh yeah, we're fine. We should be fine. Maybe we're not fine. And play Squee from the graveyard. Or exile. An Eternal Scourge. Things are getting really awkward here. Relics. It's all getting weird here. Get rid of a Flooded Strand. Double gift here and land. It's getting really awkward. Go ahead, opponent. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4 cards left. We're fine. We're fine. Hold the line. Hold the line. What's so sad is I can't quite do this. Chandra gives the gift of Bolt to me. Cough. Oh, I'm so close to dying. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Down to 5. What's the line? Oh no, down to 8. No, I'm down to 5 because of the 3. The line is land. I need a land. Give me a land right here. That's fine. Come on, land, right here. Now I need a mill spell. I mean, I have 3 shots at it. Now I need a mill spell. I mean, I've got them, but here we go. Here we go. One time. Mill spell. Mill spell. Don't pop this. Don't do it. Here we go. One draw. Mill spell. Right here. Mill. Deflate. Maybe my opponent will forget to attack me. Maybe they'll fetch. There's the land. Maybe they'll forget to kill this. Maybe they'll just F6 through their turn. I had so many hits. The relic probably saved them. I'm not playing this just to see what the other cards were. If it was, oh man, we wouldn't have hit. It was all dud. Who needs mill in the mill deck? All right, well, Aether Gust is pretty good in this matchup. Not gonna lie. Crypt Incursion's kind of weird because we mill over stuff and then put it to exile, and then they're like, yeah, I'll take that, no problem. Yeah, traps are probably out. Set Adrift is probably still not bad here because my opponent could be playing Blood Moon as well, which was what we saw. Maybe just a Crypt Incursion. We did see a reasonable amount of creatures. As we saw, it didn't really help us too much. Maybe just Bloodchief's Thirst because it can kill a Planeswalker if they do land one. It's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing, right? We need life gain. I probably can take one Fatal Push out and bring one Crypt Incursion in and try that. I think this will work. Famous last words. Famous last words. They don't have that many creatures. And like I said, if we mill over the creatures, they end up going to exile, and then my opponent is very happy. All right, we'll keep this. We'll keep this. Blood Moon proof. Never gonna get blood mooned. Not gonna have them mountains. Gonna keep on smiling and crabbing. You said before you don't have much at 4 mana in your deck that you care about, so you don't mind holding a land when at 2. Now we have you at 4. Rick Astley MTG. Exactly. All right, Crab, let's go. Let's set this Polluted Delta up and smack them with the orb. They do have those abrades, and that abrade was well suited. That's a shame. All right, fetch it, fetch it, fetch it. I'm gonna fetch, make sure we have all these basics. Orb down, go ahead, opponent. Let's mill. Gonna double orb them. Gonna double orb them. Do I know any Chris? DeBerg? No, I don't know what. No, I don't know who that is. All right, my opponent's taking my entire graveyard. They're really kind like that. We're going to play new Mesmeric Orb here, because then I can double mill them, and they're untapping for 4 here. Which is 8 mil. Jumbo mill. How does mill match up against Rat Jam? Clearly super unfavored. Rat Jam always wins. A couple pillages are milled over. We do see a Koth here. 3 mana for my opponent. We'll see if they want to go after my graveyard again. Rat Jam. Blood Moon. Feels good to be on this side of it. Alright, let's go ahead and glimpse them. Glimpse them and then pass the turn because I have this Aether Gust. It's never happening, everyone. This is how it feels. We're keeping the Aether Gust in case they try to abrade a Mesmeric Orb, because the Mesmeric Orbs are just chunking my opponent away. My opponent does not want to tap anything. Good move. We mill a little bit too here. We'll join in your milling powers. Not even gonna do that. Maddening go. I might aid a Visions at the end. It would force them to tap some more things to draw a card so that I don't get the Visions value here. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? There's one relic. What's Visions in response to this relic? Now they have to pop the other one and mill 4. And draw 2. Mill 6 Visions. Mill 6 Visions, draw 1. Bam. Got there. Surgical. Awkward. There's nothing to surgical. Hold on. Hold. I don't want any of that anyway. 10 cards to go. Opponent gives up. Game 3 coming up here. Ooh, another orb. All the orbs. That worked really well. Let's do that again. Let's do that again. Rat Jam coming in clutch there. Milling our opponent out with all the orbs. Definitely can get rid of Hedron Crabs through their lightning bolts, but this needs the pillage and or the abrade. Knowing there is a pillage, we won't keep a hand necessarily just orb. We need like 2 threats for sure. 2 threats. Happy Friday. Happy Saturday to some folks. East Coast folks, you're in the Saturday realm. How's the future? Luris declared. Oh yeah, look at this hand. We don't have black necessarily, but we've got crab. Relic from my opponent. Oh, we're gonna just lay the crab out there. Crab into Mesmeric Orb. It's gonna be beautiful. A storm is coming? Storms are kind of nice. Wow, they popped that relic immediately. Mountain and... Oh, relic. Oh, opponent, don't do this to yourself. I'm gonna just play another crab here and use a Flooded Strand. This feels pretty good. I'm even gonna just fetch right now. Just fetch right now so they don't like bolt in response to a fetch, and I get the maximum here, which is a mill for 12. Go ahead, opponent. Snowstorm. Dang. All right, Glimpse is definitely my first priority here because I don't have basic Swamp. Blood Moon is a problem for us. But if we don't get to Glimpse, I do have at least these 2 cards, which are nice. Abrades the crab. You wasted it. Well, I could get rid of the Blood Moon. I don't think I worry about that, though. We have 2 Koths already in the yard. I do see 1 pillage. I could take a pillager and a braid, probably. Let's mill a little bit more. It's another Blood Moon that I went over, so 2 Blood Moons. Let's go further with the Glimpse here, because then I can surgical something that I'm really scared of. Which is really none of this. Boyle's scary. Hold on. Hold on, Boyle's scary. I wonder how many Boyles they're playing. We could lose to Boyle. We shouldn't lose to Boyle. We'll go on their draw step. Well, I say draw step. I'm not really sure I'm going to even get this because of the relic over there. Boyle's dangerous, though. Yeah, we got a little bit of snow the other day. It just went... It's really nice. Pretty. Pretty. Float, float. Float your boat. This Boyle's a problem. It might be a 1 of, maybe 2 of. Perfect timing. I'm gonna take that Boyle. Woo! Alright, what's left? Alright, we have Storm Breath, Snow Covered, Scrying, and Frostwalk Bastion. This is going away. We have Screds, Blood Moons. We really just have this Storm Breath, which I can take care of. Another Storm Breath, some Pillages as well, and a Pia Nalar. That's all I really care about. All right. Not bad. 23 cards to go. Also, it sent some things to the exile that I think they can play again. All right, Snow-Covered Mountain was played, followed by Pillaging a Watery Grave. There we go. We were talking about the black mana being at risk. Pillage was the top there. I'm going to go ahead and play Orb here and pass turn versus playing Maddening, because this will mill 3, but if they want to continue playing Magic, they're going to have to mill a little bit more unless they get to remove this. Making this card more valuable right now. I'm expecting land here, plus this Storm Breath trying to kill me. I believe this goes sideways as well. With a Maddening here, plus the mill of 6 here, we should be good to go. Can't drown the lock, but we can definitely Maddening. Opponent's got 10 cards here. We're at 13. This is going to be a close one. Down to 3. They attack with the Storm Breath. Do they have a way to get rid of the Orb is the question. Doesn't appear so. And I can now Set Adrift the Storm Breath. Scrying Sheets. Set Adrift coming in clutch here. I'm gonna put a little dragon on top. Or I can just Maddening. That's not fun. Oh well. Maddening for the win. Maddening for the win. It'd be cool to put the dragon on top, though. Scary, though. You never know what they could have had. Ooh, a Koth would have been scary. Koth would have been scary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got there. 2/2, taking down Scred Dragons here in Modern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Monstrous would do 7, and then 8, 9, 10. It would kill me. So Maddening is the correct line. But you could have Set Adrift here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then they attack for 4, and we'd be pretty healthy there. 2, 2. Mill. Doing our thing. Doing our thing. Just hanging out. Throwing cards to the graveyard. Let's go. Match 5. Let's get a W here. 2021, the year of 3 2s. All right. It's a good opener. Good opener. Let's start a prediction. Match 5 results. Winner. You have 2 minutes on this prediction. Match 5. Will we win or will we lose? You get to see the open hand. We're probably keeping this, but you have no idea what our opponent's up about. They are 0-0. We are 2-2. Put your predictions in. What do you think? Here's your chance to go big or go home. They could be mill. There was no Lurrus or anything declared. They could be the anti-mill list. They could have difficult cards for us to get rid of. Eldrazi Titans. Who knows? Who knows? Predictions can be found in your channel points as well. People are confident about the win. People are Avaros shows up. People need to jump on this. Get your predictions in. The Rat Pack has arrived. Thank you so much, Evan, for that raid. Welcome, everyone. Miracle folks are here. We're predicting whether we're going to win match 5 or not, playing Mill against an unknown opponent right now. Opening hand is your only clue as to what we're going to be doing game 1. Prediction isn't live for you? I'm sorry. Rat Pack. Rat Pack. Rats. Sometimes you have to refresh. Sometimes. All right. We're gonna... I kind of want to keep and start this off, but I'm trying to watch the predictions real quick. We got thrown the question mark. We have 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, and 3.5 in seconds, and 1, and go opponent. Botanical Sanctum. Serum Visions. Quick, change your votes. What do we need to do here? We just gotta win. We just gotta win. It's gonna be interesting. Ruin Crab, go. We could archive trap this Botanical Sanctum player. Ran out of time. That's the point. Get rid of this draw step. We don't need this draw step. All right. What are we playing against? That's the big question. That is the big question. Let's find out. Oh, there's a Summoner's Pact over there. It's an interesting card. Let's go ahead and get an island here. Mill a little bit more. Ah, Allosaurus Rider. That's an interesting card too. Let's try to surgical the Allosaurus Rider here. See if they have a counterspell. Did we win? We won. Good luck, opponent. Good luck. Extirpate looks pretty good here. I don't mind Bridge here. Mystical Disputes, maybe not bad. This is red and green. Aether Gust. Let's see here. They do search. Fatal Push. Blood Chiefs looking bad here. Just bring this stuff in. This is what we want. Crypt Incursion can go. They're going to combo kill us if they're going to go for it. Really, Orb's probably a no here. Nope, we don't have Ashiok. Who needs that card? That's a silly card. Pretty good card. No Thoughtseize, no Inquisitions, nothing crazy like that. Get rid of some of this. I guess I'll keep an Orb here. You know what? We're gonna go for the throat. We're gonna nail them. Here we go. Here we go. Points are on the line. Ooh, we have a surgical. All right. Guess we keep this one too. Guess we keep this one too. What an opener. Simian, Manamorphose. What if I surgical the Simian? It's exiled. Summoner Pact. Uh-oh. Do I not get a turn 1? Allosaurus Rider. Okay. Neoform. I feel like I could like Surgical Summoner Pact and mess them up some here. Like they sort of have to fizzle here. And Summoner's Pact helps them find things for Nourishing Shoal. I'm gonna go for it. Draws another 7 underneath, or over top of this. Trying to use Summoner Pacts and stuff. They can't do anything else here. Alright, what'd you get? Oh, did they whiff? Oh no, they get another 7. Alright, they get another 7 here. In a way, maybe I shouldn't have taken those cards, because then they're like dead draws. So my opponent needs to find one of these last 3 Nourishing Shoals, or they die. Good luck, opponent. Good luck. Draw 7. Did you find one? You shoalin'? You shoalin'? Oh, their gemstone mine. Oh, they shoaled. They shoaled. They're continuing. Noxious Revival to put the shoal back on top. They did it. They did it. Oh no. Looks like we're getting turn 1'd. Maybe. Oh, they're pausing. Manamorphose. Drawing cards. Blue. Green. Magic is fun. Manamorphose. Three mana. Wild Cantor. Draws. I couldn't surgical the shoal. Oh, you said surgically in the first shoal? Well, right now, they're putting all the Allosaurus Riders out. Draws. And now they have Lab Maniac here, right? Bam. Crap. Alright, I didn't get to really play Magic there. No Magic was had. Do I have anything for this matchup other than what I've basically brought in? Nope. Cool. Submit. We had a decision. We did. I see what you mean though about the surgical. Alright, I'm playing first, obviously. Alright, we're gonna keep because Mystical Dispute could disrupt a Neoform. Rare, albeit, but Neoform is the one they can go off with a little bit faster here. Yeah, Set Adrift is gonna be really hard to cast, Last God. We're gonna go with the Mystical Dispute on the Neoform. We got this right here. Opponent's gonna scoop it up. Fastest game ever. Here we go. Allosaurus Rider. Do it, do it, do it, do it. In Neoform, do it. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. No! No! Why are you running that card? They had it all. You thought your points were safe, everyone. Fizzle. Fizzle. You used a pack. Fizzle. Say it with me, chat. Fizzle. No, stop. No. Gain 1,000,000 life. We had the interaction too. Pact of Negation saves them from my 1 mana spell. They had it all in the opener. They had it all in the opener. 2 turn 1 Rins in a row. Indeed. One of them, they got through. I don't know, maybe we do need to do what we did with the other one, the Noxious Revival. We were thinking Surgical Summoner Pact with the idea that they might get something too small for a potential shoal, since they needed to find a shoal plus a fairly large thing. Oh well. Well, it was fun. We played Mill. We got the 2-2 record, and then we watched someone play Magic. Indeed. Indeed. Can you be mad? No, never. We're playing Magic on Friday night. What's my opponent doing? Are you done, opponent? There you go. All right. Mill gets taken down there by Neoform. Double turn 1s there, taking us down. Maybe something different to Surgical there. Maybe makes game 2 a little bit more rough, although a lot of things they can do at instant speed, so that you're just negating pretty much them having a few cards there. Tough to say, though. Tough to say. Well, there you have it. Mill in Modern. 2-3 overall. I don't know about that last game. Let's go ahead and reward your predictions, though. And yeah. That's what it's going to do.